What's going on, everyone? This is ODC. It's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Star Wars The Black Series Jango Fett action figure. Now, this is Jango Fett. Yeah, I've really been looking forward to this figure. Really been looking forward to getting this character finally. I feel like he's been long overdue. And I'm just really happy with the figures in Wave 4 and in Wave 5 coming up next month. But the packaging looks really good. Pretty much your typical Black Series packaging. They got a nice little silhouette photo of Jango Fett right there. And he does include a bunch of accessories, but we'll get to that when I get the figure out of packaging. On the side, it says figure number 15 in the wave. Or in the series, I should say. It says Jango Fett right there. On the back, here's a nice little read-up. Focus. So, there you go if you want to read that. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get Jango Fett out of packaging. We'll take a closer look at him, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Jango Fett out of packaging. And I gotta say, this figure looks fantastic. I was just kind of, messing around with him for a couple minutes before I actually segued back into this, and I really like this figure. I think this is a very well done job by Hasbro, and this is a character that really I've been looking forward to getting for a while. Overall, I like Jango Fett's look a lot better than Boba Fett's look, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people will be like, what? But it's just personal preference thing with me. I love the blue and the purple mixed in together, and overall I like his jetpack better as well. His overall design I just like better. Even his I believe when he was part of what was it, the Mandalorian army, when he had all the what was it, black and red armor, that looked great as well. I mean, he is a badass. He is pretty much a badass. I mean, especially if you read up on your comics, you know that this guy single-handedly took down 6 Jedi by himself. But couldn't take down one of the most powerful Jedi, which was Mace Windu. So, unfortunately, he met his demise at the hands of Mace Windu. But yeah, still really great figure. Really do enjoy this figure a lot, and it's just very well done. I really like it. And it's not just because I enjoy the character, it's because this is a well done figure. Now, is there room for improvement on it? Sure, of course, there's always room for improvement on everything, but really looks great. The helmet fits on the head nice and snug. It's not loose, or it doesn't look awkward even when you look at it from underneath. And it gives you the option to really, if you want to have that scene where Boba Fett is really, he's got he chopped where Mace Windu chopped Jango Fett's head off. You could even recreate that scene whenever we come out with a Mace Windu figure, hopefully soon. But you could even have it so his head is chopped off, I guess, if you want to go that route. But the big perk is the clone head. Yes, finally, Jango Fett has his head. And I think it looks pretty decently done to the actor. Granted, it could have been a little bit better, I think, with the hair sculpt. I feel like the hair sculpt's a little bit, just a little, could have been a little bit better. But overall, I do enjoy the face sculpt. I think they did a pretty good job. From certain angles, he doesn't look like the actor, and then certain angles, like I think head on, he looks pretty good, pretty close. Yeah, I think this is a very well done figure, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of Wave 4. I actually found this at my local Walmart, and pretty happy about it, pretty excited for the next 2 waves, to be honest with you. I think they're pretty strong. Like I said, talking about the figure here, I keep going off on tangents. He does come with 2 pistols, pistol blasters, and I'm surprised that Boba Fett never, wanted these, or used these, to be honest with you. But they do look really good. Very unique sculpt to them. And it's like a light blue color on the handle, which looks really good. And then you got silver for the cannon portion, or the barrel portion, whatever you want to call it. And they look really good, and they do fit right into his holsters. And they are a softer plastic, to note. So they're not as hard as some of the other ones. And I think they look really good in the holsters, to be honest with you. And they're snug, so they don't fall out. No issues there. His jetpack does plug into his back, but it does plug in snugly, which is very nice. There's actually 3 points where it plugs in. So no issues there with it falling out or anything. This is actually an all-new body sculpt, and if you're thinking to yourself, oh, they just redid Boba Fett's look, and it's like, no, it's not. And I'm actually going to prove it to you right now. Okay, so to show you the differences between the two, obviously you can see the torso pieces are completely different. Even the shoulder pieces are different. Totally different sculpt there. Entirely. The jetpacks are much different. And this is an original Boba Fett. It's not a knockoff. So I think I have like 3 knockoffs. But the helmets are much different. It's not just, I mean, obviously Jango's helmet's going to be a little bit bigger because it's got to fit over his head. Yeah, these are different sculpts, and I'll get into some other stuff. Okay, so some other differences here are obviously the legs are completely different sculpt. The boots are a completely different sculpt. Even the gauntlets are differently sculpted. As you can see, there's some buttons on there. Even the hoses are, I think Boba Fett's got 1 hose going into his flamethrower, where Jango's got 3. So there are some big differences between these. This is not just a re-release. As you can see, there's buttons. This is an all-new gauntlet sculpt right here. So this is an all-new sculpt, and I really got to hand it to Hasbro. I mean, they really could have went on the cheap side and just recycled some old stuff from Boba Fett, and they decided not to, which I think is really, really good. And I feel like maybe the Star Wars line has got a higher budget than, you know, your typical Marvel Legends, because, I mean, let's face it, these Star Wars figures blow the Marvel Legends figures out of the water. Sculpt, detail, paint, everything. Pretty much, I think the Star Wars figures have them in every single category. Even though they're made by the same company, I do understand that, but different line. I think it's a better line. Anyway, that's a different story for a different time. But the big thing is, like I said, the clone head, the Jango Fett head. I think it looks pretty good, and I mean, I did attempt to pop this onto like Commander Cody. The peg holes are actually a little bit smaller on this head, and I think the peg on Commander Cody is a little bit larger. But the thing is, if you have a Dremel, you can Dremel this out and definitely get yourself a Commander Cody head. I don't see, there shouldn't be an issue there, as long as you know, a Dremel is your friend if you're a customizer, and if you want the head on him bad enough, you can go that route. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Like, I'm probably going to pick up like at least 4 of these guys, because I want to do a couple customs of some Mandalorian army people. But and I also want to do a black and red Jango Fett from his comic look, his earlier look, I should say, before he became a bounty hunter. But I think he looks fantastic. I love the wash on him. Really gives a... It's almost like they overdid the wash a little bit too much, as long as I can focus here. On the legs. Focus, good lord. There's a lot of black wash going throughout all of the armor, and it's almost like they overdid it, but I kind of don't mind it. I mean, I guess you could say that he's in the battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi in Kamino, so there's that. A lot of, like I said, black wash going throughout all of his bits of armor. He's got a nice little dent on his head, and that is... Oh my god, I got so much glare. He does have a dent on his head right there. Very similar to Boba's. So, like father, like son. But, yeah, this is a fantastic figure. And like I said, I don't know. I think I just like this figure, or like the character a little bit better than Boba, because, I don't know, maybe he accomplished a little bit more. I know a lot happened after the movies with Boba, But and I know he did turn good for a little while, or for actually I think towards the end of his expanded universe, he was pretty much joined the good guys, but joined the rebellion. But really like the dark. It's almost like a dark blue, almost purple on him. It really just brings out the helmet. It really accents and helps the helmet just kind of stand out. It really does. I love the belt, the front belt here. Looks really good with all the pouches and everything. Overall, just really like this figure. Really, really do. And don't get me wrong, like I love this Boba Fett figure too. It's fantastic. They're both fantastic figures if you haven't had a chance to get them. Even if you get the bootleg, it's just fantastic. Love them. So yeah, this is probably, like, man, this might be one of my favorite Black Series figures now. The way the helmet fits, nice and snug. Everything on him works nicely. I don't have any loose parts or loose joints or anything like that. As far as his articulation goes, his head does swivel, full 360 rotation. It can look up nicely, and it can look down. Oh, see, we got some job turkeys. Oh, we got a little job turkey, a little gobbler. That's it. Full 360 rotation. His arms go up actually really nicely. Oh, the shoulder pads fit into the torso very nicely. I really like that. And then his arms go down, and he does have a swivel up here at kind of like a bicep swivel, and he has a single bend at the elbow, but I think he also has a swivel at the elbow as well. He does. So two swivels that are at the they're so close to each other, it's almost like they're redundant, but I don't mind having the bicep swivel because it's actually for a reason, because of his tubes right here. You don't want the tubes to twist around with the elbow swivel like so and put pressure on these tubes, excuse me, as I'm way far away from the camera. So you have this extra swivel where it swivels with the tubes. So that makes sense. They really thought this out. I'm pretty sure they might have done the same thing for Boba Fett. Yes, they did. So good thinking, Hasbro. Single bend at the elbow, which is about 90 degrees. A better bend than most Black Series figures. He's got a wrist swivel, and he's got a wrist hinge. And he's got an ab crunch, which goes forward and a little bit back, I guess. There's forward and back, and then does pivot side to side, and he does swivel at the diaphragm joint. He can do the splits about that far, and his both legs can go forward nicely. And then he's got an upper thigh swivel. He can swivel to what you need him to do, but if you really want him to get him like his leg was broken or something like that, you're kind of going to have a rough time with these holsters, and I don't believe that this belt is removable. So, yeah, good luck with that. I don't think it's removable. But he does have double jointed knees, and he does have an ankle hinge, which goes back instead of forward so much, and then he does have the ankle pivot, which is nicely done. And two peg holes at the bottom of his feet, and he does not have two left feet, thank God. So he does stand nicely. He does look really good. Like I said, this is just a fantastic looking figure. I love it. Absolutely love it. And even if you wanted to do, because of the Battlefront game has come out, and there's a lot of people that love and hate that game. I think it's just a fun game to play. I don't think it's the best game ever, but it's a fun game to play. That you could actually use this jetpack if you wanted to, and customize yourself a rebel soldier if you wanted to. You could probably use the Resistance Trooper, swap on a different head, possibly, maybe create your own rebel trooper or Resistance Trooper, and give him a jetpack. I mean, you could totally do that. Just repaint this guy. But as far as Jango is concerned, I give him 2 thumbs up. I would definitely recommend this figure. And if you missed out on Boba Fett, scour eBay for any sort of China knockoff. I highly recommend those two. They are very well done, very well put together, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.